kuria tukorwo nake wa mbere tutiri aiki tukorwo turi andu 22 tu aria maregire gwikira ngacibũ mbere ya ngari yao makiuga mekirage bendera ngari-inĩ yao. Koguo turi anini muno no nginya tugathie tukanyitanĩra hĩndĩ ĩrĩa mũndũ agĩa na kĩhata gĩkĩ. Na wa kerĩ ona turi anini ũguo ona tutiri ende muno, koguo tuga twambe twendane ithuĩ wenyewe tondũ tutiri arata aingĩ muno. Wĩra wa thirikari ti wĩra mũhũthũ. Professor ũyũ mũrona haha ona na mũcimba ũguo nĩ arutaga wĩra mũingĩ mũno wa bũrũri. Koguo professor ndĩmwĩre ndũra gũtigwo nĩ maitũ witũ, mwĩhe hinya na mwĩyũmĩrĩrie na tuge rũgendo rũrũ ruothe haha nyina wa andũ mwathiĩ haha ithuothe no tũgathiĩ kana he mũndũ tagathiĩ rũgendo rũu. Ithuothe tũgathiĩ mahinda tofauti. Taguo Alice gathiĩ mbere yakwa etha ngarũgama toguo tũkĩmumagaria na father ni tũkarigia na father nĩguo etha tũtigakĩage wa gũtumaga. No ithuothe this is destiny. No twende kana tũtiende karũgendo gaka noko tũkagera. Ndakena mũno gũka gũkũmũrũka tirita rĩa mbere gũka gũkamũrũka Alice. Kaingĩ njũkaga maũndũ ma kũrinũ na nĩwe ndĩ mũgathoreki. Rĩu rĩrĩa njiguire nginya ũhoro wĩ thĩinĩ wa gathoreki ndaiga no nginya njũke gũkũ tondũ ndireciria nĩ kũrĩ kanitha ngĩmũrũka tiga kũrinũ. Koguo ndakena mũno nĩ ũndũ wa gũka gũkũ. Ndĩmwĩre andũ aitũ tondũ ndikwenda kwaria maũndũ maingĩ twĩ kanitha. Ũguo Alice agweta bũrũri ũyũ nĩ witũ. This country is our country. Na no ndĩmwĩre itarĩ na guoya tondũ ndarĩ kuo hĩndĩ ya Kibaki ndarĩ o thirikari kũguma street-inĩ cia thirikari. Nginya hĩndĩ ya Moi twarĩ kuo tukiuga Moi must go twĩna matiba. Ndikamona kanini ndĩ university twarĩ o kũu. Twarĩ kuo na mũgathe Uhuru wa Kenyatta twarĩ o kuo. Miaka ĩno ĩrĩ without fear of contradiction bũrũri ũranyitĩrĩirwo ũguo na guoko ta ihũang'a cia irigũ nĩ professor wĩ haha. Kotiwe ũyũ bũrũri ũngĩakorogocanire tene mũno kũringana na harĩa tũrakorire maũndũ mahana, kũringana na tũrakorire ũritũ wa maũndũ ũrĩa maikarĩte. Na nĩ Ngai, tuge nĩ Ngai atĩ hau tũkinyĩte ũmũthĩ tũtinaigĩrĩrio nĩ mabũrũri ma kimataifa nĩ ũndũ wa mathirĩ maitũ. Na somehow bũrũri ũrĩa ũkuo no kuma haha gũthiĩ na mbere he ũndũ tũratuire. Inyuĩ nĩ inyuĩ mũgũcoka gũtua ũrĩa tũgwĩka. Nĩ inyuĩ mũgũtwĩra ona tũrĩe ngima mũkaigua mũthĩ tũkũrĩa ngima. Ithuĩ nĩ ithuĩ atuge tũrĩe gĩtheri. Ona tũrĩe gĩtheri nĩ inyuĩ mũgwĩka atĩa mũrĩtwĩraga. Koguo nĩ ithuĩ tũgwĩcagũrĩra kana nĩ tũkwenda bũrũri ũnyitanĩte kana nĩ tũkwenda bũrũri ũhana wa Sumari atĩ ona ndũngĩhota kuma haha ũthiĩ ona haha Thĩka. It is us to determine. Kana nĩ tũkwenda bũrũri mwana waku arokĩra agathiĩ thukuru. The choice is ours and the choice is in our hands. Kana nĩ mũkwenda biũ Kandara is a unique constituency in Kenya. Ati no kuo niĩ kaunti ya Kiambu tuna aikia kura 1.2 million votes. Na no ni minister Deika. Constituency 12. No Kandara constituency ĩmwe ina minister igana. Ena hĩndĩ ĩyo maĩ na slogan maiga atĩrĩrĩ magĩthurwo minister. Ti andũ a Kandara ai ti mahũthire nyamũ ĩtagwo buy one get one free. Mũkĩgĩra na maminista merĩ. Ũcio kĩu ti kĩrathimo. Ũcio ti mũnyaka. Rĩu nĩ inyuĩ mũgũtwĩra andũ a Kandara kana mwĩna maminista merĩ nĩ mũkwenda tũtige thirikari atĩ tũthiĩ tũgethe ĩngĩ. Ona andũ matikĩambaga gũkĩrĩra ĩrĩa makĩrĩra. Ona mũndũ akĩambaga kũgetha kĩrĩa arahandĩte ira mbere ya kũhanda kanyamũ kau kangĩ ka rũciũ. niĩ hakwa ona ndatigwo ndĩ ika ngatigwo thirikari ndĩ ika tondũ thirikari ti nyoneki na andũ aitũ mũmenye mũngĩgeria hanini muonie thirikari mũgongo mũkũrĩra mĩaka igana rĩmwe rĩa 37 mũgĩkona ĩngĩ Ngai twamuoya mũrathime na mwĩke wega asante sana
nĩ twaigua
Because when we invest in our children, we invest in the future. And you are the agents of that investment. And therefore, in energy, I would want to give you our commitment that we shall work with these agents of the future to ensure that also the environment is safe. As they are agents of our young ones, that they will be agents. It shows the centrality of education in this country. More than 660 billion shillings has been put into this sector, and therefore we do not want really to look like we don't appreciate. We do appreciate, and these agents of investment of the future, who are our principals, do up guiding us, because now you are audit units. You will not be audited through the Ministry of Education. You will be audited as schools. Come, they have what they call an entry meeting. Ensure you are the one chairing the entry meeting. They will also have an exit and adequately invest in the future. Sir, as I conclude, I would want to urge and encourage the principals and all participants. With those very many remarks, it is now my distinct duty.
Bill, our current and development expenditure against a diminishing revenue.
Allow me to say, sir, that through your government, the year 2023-2024 financial budget, you gave the Teacher Service Commission, sir, 323 billion Kenya shillings. Out of that money, sir, as a commission, we were able to recruit 20,000 teacher interns. We were also able, sir, to promote 6,000 teachers then. Sir, I like also to highlight that from the same money, we were able to get 1 billion shillings, which we were able to conduct interviews, and we were able to promote that 6,504 teachers. Some of them are then teachers seated here today. And it assisted quite a lot, sir, because we had so many teachers and teachers who are staying for a very long time without promotions. Sir, I want to thank the government for that. And I also want to reassure the teachers sitting here, then the principals, and the teachers across the country that in this year's budget, the government has given another 1 billion shillings to promote more teachers and then teachers sitting here today. We need to appreciate the role of the government in motivating us as in form of promotions. Allow me, sir, to say also, the commission got money and we have been able to retool 60,967 teachers across the country so that they align themselves with the CBC curriculum. They get the pedagogies and skills necessary to deliver. Your Excellency, I also want to point out, in the current budget, we have been allocated money which we are going to use to recruit another 20,000 teachers, interns, in preparation for grade 9. And sir, I want to affirm to you, sir, that by the first week of July, that is tomorrow's week, we are going to advertise, and the teachers will be in classroom in the first week of September this year. Sir, I also want to note that we have been allocated money, 13.4 billion, which we are going to use to convert the JSS teachers into permanent and pensionable terms so that they can be able to enjoy what the government has given to them. Your Excellency, sir, allow me, as I conclude, to thank you most sincerely and immensely, because we have seen you move from school to school, even when you were in your former high school, encouraging teachers, giving them direction, and supporting them as they understand their duties. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give His Excellency a lovely word of applause to appreciate his contribution in supporting us in education. Your Excellency, as I conclude, therefore, I want to thank the government for the support it has given to education, and more so to the Teacher Service Commission in ensuring that we dispense our mandate as is envisaged in the Constitution. Sir, we are reviewing our legal documents, and we are doing it in consultation with the ministry so that we align ourselves properly with the dispensations that are there in this country.
God is good, and all the time. Maybe before I give my address, I request all of you to be outstanding in a minute silence in honor of our children and security officers who lost their lives in yesterday's protests and pandemonium across the country. Thank you very much. It is a great pleasure joining you, teachers, this afternoon for this year's Kenya Secondary School Heads Association National Conference. This conference is a critical conversation platform. It takes place when the government is implementing radical reforms in the education sector to align academic outcomes with the development needs of our nation. I, on behalf of government, congratulate you for the apt theme, Future Pathways for Learning and Learners in Kenya. It speaks to the agenda of our administration in delivering an education that will support and sustain the socio-economic transformation of our nation, as underlined by the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This audience of key decision makers from schools is giving state agencies resourceful information to guide strategic interventions as we implement the CBC system. In particular, it is very important as we prepare to roll out the senior school, a key component of the CBC system. Distinguished teachers and leaders in the educational sector, we are excited that in contributing to the holistic approach of the reforms, this conference is focused on 3 pathways of CBC, that is social sciences, arts and sports, and science and technology, engineering and mathematics. Under our administration, the sector receives the lion's share of the national allocation because we understand that quality education requires quantity investment. With a particular focus on the 3 pathways, we want an education that generates job creators, not job seekers. We want an education that profiles and polishes talent of the students in what they do best, not bombarding them with material they least need in their career pathway to stardom. We want an education that sparks, nurtures nascent scientists and other experts to drive manufacturing as we strive to stimulate value addition in our produce, to fetch more for our farmers, who are the pillars in the production chain. Esteemed teachers, we have identified junior secondary school and senior secondary school as a crucial stepping stone of molding the student to the professional they desire to be. That is why we have heavy representation from the national government in better preparations for the rollout of the senior secondary school. In this regard, engagement with principals who determine the performance and excellence of our schools is paramount. We insist on strategic and transformative leadership in secondary schools to produce the best beyond the definition of the syllabus. We appreciate that more teachers are advancing in education. We urge them to consider programs that respond to the CBC adjustments as per the 3 pathways. Let me throw this challenge to you, head teachers. Please, lead by examples in sprucing up your skills. You cannot manage someone who understands their assignment more than you. Strategic management demands that you remain 1 or more steps ahead of your team. Distinguished teachers and principals, on the other hand, we are investing more to increase TVETs across the country. It is one of the ways of complementing universities in successive transition from secondary for students who are family established and focused in their pathways of choice. Because we want the TVETs to deliver, we set out to employ 2,000 more tutors in the 2023-2024 fiscal year to bridge the capacity gap. We have continued to invest in the TVET because of their potential to create jobs, especially the informal sector of our economy, which is employing more than 83% of our workforce. In looking for more opportunities beyond our borders, cutting-edge skills are the passport. Therefore, there must be seamless transition from senior secondary schools to tertiary institutions as per the pathways. We have also incorporated the recognition of prior learning and TVETs as a strategy of increasing employment prospects for people who already have the requisite skills but lack validating documents. Distinguished teachers and principals, as we undertake these reforms, we have long-term and far-reaching implications. The demand for more financial and technical resources that cannot be overlooked. The National Treasury, led by Professor Ndongo, is listening to these discussions for insights that will guide structural review of the educational financing framework. We acknowledge Kesha for direct engagement with key agencies, including Parliament and the Ministry of Education, especially on funding. The government continues to receive and gradually incorporate feedback from critical actors to minimize disruptions. We are streamlining systems for timely release of funds. Even as the government allocates more resources to education, taxpayers must gain from this investment. We call for prudent management of resources for our schools to have the requisite capacity to deliver. Our wealth is directly proportional to the investment in our children. Their successes is a measure of our dedication to offer them the best. Allow me to underscore the critical role of teachers' associations, such as COPET, NAT, the Kenya Union of Special Needs Education Teachers, among others, on their continuous contribution to good governance in the educational sector. We consider you critical in the rollout of the CBC system, in pushing for results from your members. Demand better results with the same valor you demand better pay.
Your Excellency, the Chair of TSC, I would want to write on the protocols that have already been put forward so that we can save on time. Once again, I would want to take this early opportunity, sir, to congratulate the new team of leadership of the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association, and that I told them not so long ago that they become part of the ecosystem of government in supporting, in ensuring that the policies and guidelines and all that we need to do in the sector, that they'll be part of this particular drive. I know they sit in various committees, they sit in some boards of our institutions. So, Bwana Kuria and your team, congratulations and welcome to the ecosystem and the leadership framework of the education sector. Sir, I would want also to take this opportunity to most sincerely thank all of us for coming here and also to welcome you to this 47th annual conference of the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association. The theme chosen this year, sir, is Pathway Learning, a futuristic approach to education in Kenya. And this fits well into the education reforms that we are doing. And at this juncture, I know these particular pathways and the reforms that we are undertaking is heavily guided by the Presidential Working Party, that together with His Excellency the President, you are able to appoint immediately you came into leadership. And that particular work of the Presidential Working Party has continued to guide us as government in ways in which we would want to anchor our education system into the future. Again, I would want to acknowledge our principals and the school system, and that we always expect so much, and that we regard you for the work that you do for this country. As I said earlier, you know you are the custodians of the future. And as custodians of the future, then you have to anchor this country and anchor humanity as we move forward. Again, I said and I mentioned earlier that you are the lead co-creators. And God gave us an opportunity as teachers to co-create our young ones. You lead those of us who are doing that co-creation. So once again, we acknowledge the role that you play. Again, you are the agents of investment of the future. Because when we invest in our children, we invest in the future. And you are the agents of that investment. And therefore, humanity and all of us acknowledge and appreciate what you are doing. And as we continue to invest in the future, Your Excellency, I would want to most sincerely thank you and convey our gratitude as sector to the President, that we really acknowledge and appreciate the investment that is being put into the education sector. More than a quarter of the budget of this country is put into the education sector. It shows the centrality of education in this country. More than 660 billion shillings has been put into this sector, and therefore we do not want really to look like we don't appreciate. We do appreciate, and these agents of investment of the future, who are our principals, do appreciate. We acknowledge the challenges that we sometimes face in disbursement of these resources. We are all living in this country, and we acknowledge the situation that we found ourselves in. And with the leadership of the President, I can say that we are surmounting the challenges, and going into the future, we want to commit ourselves that we shall do better than we have done in ensuring that we release the resources that you require. As you meet here, it is an opportunity for you to share the management and leadership that is there so that we can be able to do better as we deal with our young ones.
As a government, we have done something good that even as we are criticized for many things, in terms of employing teachers, we have done 56,000 teachers, something that has never been done since independence. I want to ask the interns to be patient and to be also appreciative. The huge budgetary outlay will not allow us to absorb you directly because we have to look for the money. So we say be an intern for 2 years at a slightly lower salary. Then, as we are making progress, collecting more money, we transit you into PNP, and then you can earn your rightful salary. And that is a good thing. So I want to say that we are on a good program. We'll continue absorbing more teachers to enhance the capacity for you to have enough teachers to take care of our children. That is a commitment that we have given as an administration, and I want to assure you that we are focused, that we'll keep on absorbing more teachers, and the student-teacher ratio will increasingly become better so that we can have quality education. One of the key drawbacks to universal access to education is abuse of alcohol, drugs, and other substances. We have made tremendous progress in the war on this menace. We invite Kesha and other associations to complement our efforts. In particular, I appeal to you at the individual level to also take up this challenge by drinking less, drinking the right products, and urging others not to drink the harmful drinks. Walimu, mtusaidie tafadhali. Hakuna vile mtaambia wengine wasikunywe chang'aa kama mnakunywa sisi wenyewe. So mtusaidie, because you are also opinion leaders in your own right. Mnaheshimika sana huko mashinani. Na mko na sauti, that is the truth. Those of us who look for votes know how useful you are. Nyinyi mko na sauti kubwa sana. Mtusaidie kwa hii maneno ya mihadarati na mambo ya hii pombe haramu ambaye inaua watoto wetu. It's a big challenge, and I'm sure if you people agree, you can play a very important role. No, people look at teachers as a role model. Many people wanataka kunywa ile kitu mwalimu anakunywa. So drink the right thing, so that those who want to emulate you can also drink the right thing. Or even drink nothing at all. Mkunywe maziwa, uji, chai kama mimi na rais. One of the key drawbacks to universal access to education is abuse of alcohol. We cannot transform our nation when the critical population, teens and youth, drink themselves to destruction. We count on your support because you are also part of the education system. Admittedly, we have had challenges with a very tight physical space as a country, escalating public debt, the wage bill, our recurrent and development expenditure, against a diminishing revenue. What we collect per year through the KRI is about 2.2 trillion. That goes to pay the public debt and to pay wages. And the biggest wage bill is yours, the teachers. We are left with no alternative but to borrow for our development after we give the shareable revenue to the county governments, which this year is about 400 billion. We don't have a store anywhere where government keeps money, where we can get it and give you capitation. We have a temporary store. We receive money from the taxpayers and we give it to you. We give as we receive. When there is a delay in receiving, there is a corresponding delay in giving. You can only give that which you have. So, where there are delays, much as we regret those delays, is beyond anything that government can do. Because we have to collect taxes, manage them, and distribute them in accordance with the budget. So I really want to ask for your indulgence. We will try as much as possible to give you the first priority, which we always do by first making sure we reduce your salaries, and we will try as much as we can to make sure that the capitation is released on time so that the schools can run. But I also want to encourage you, those of you who have some land, to bring down the cost of running your schools. Please come up with some income-generating projects where you can have your own food, where you can have some dairy animals to have your own milk. I've gone to some schools that have some bakeries to bake bread for the children. I want to encourage you. You are not just principals. You are managers. You are leaders. And you have the skills to manage an institution. Away from the classroom, you must be a good financial manager of your institution. Please come up with income-generating projects to support your requirements as an institution.